Hey babes, so let's do an ombre nail using pigments. That means no airbrush. So if you're having issues with your airbrush machine and you just said, you know what, I can do this, your pigments will be your best friends. You can use pigments, you can use acrylic powder as long as it's very nice pigmented, or you can use your eyeshadows that you've been hiding, that you haven't been using, that you have like 30 of them and you're like, what am I gonna do with them? Bring them out, baby, and put them to use. So I'm using as my base a gel polish pink color. I'm gonna do 2 coats, and each time I'm curing 30 seconds only. Make sure that whenever you're coating, it is not too thick because you don't want any bubbles or you don't want any harsh lines to show through the ombre, okay? So make sure you do it super thin. I will be leaving in the descriptions all the products I'm using so you can go ahead and purchase yours. Now, as soon as I'm done, you're not gonna top coat it. You're gonna use your ombre gel after your second coat of polish, okay? Or if you have acrylic, you put it directly to the acrylic color. So you make sure that you add a very thin layer of your ombre gel. Make sure that it's not too thick. That's why you keep seeing me brushing it out, making sure that there's no areas that is getting thick on me, okay? Once you're done applying your ombre gel, you're gonna cure it on your lamp for 30 seconds. Don't do no more than that, and don't do less than that. I do it for 30 seconds. It works for me. If you want to try a different timing, then go ahead, but for me it works 30 seconds. Once you're done curing it, you're gonna come directly with your clear powder and you're gonna sprinkle it on top of the nail. Make sure that you sprinkle the whole entire nail. You do see me here tapping it. When I tap it, it shows me if any area of the nail is shiny. If it is shiny, make sure that you coat it with clear. The more matte that it is, the better it will be, okay? So make sure you look at it before you start adding your pigments, that is nice and matte all throughout the whole entire nail. Once you're done adding your clear, that's when you bring out your pigments. I am using an ombre brush from Nail Polish. You can use a foundation brush. I will recommend you for that foundation brush to be nice and soft. You don't want no bristles to be hard, okay? Because then you're gonna leave streaks. We're gonna start on the tip first, because remember that ombre is always darker on the tip and it just starts to fade nicely until the center of the nail, right? So we're gonna start our thicker on the tip. Make sure that you make it as thick as possible, and then lightly, with very light pressure, like literally like feather pressure, you're gonna start moving towards the center. You see me kind of like removing some of the product on my finger. You can do that as well, because I don't want the brush to have way too much product whenever I'm trying to fade it into a very soft look towards the center. So you can remove product as you go. That way every time you dip it onto the pigment, you have fresh product and it's not getting all grainy on you. So this process can take long. This process might not take that long. It all depends on what base color that you have and how dark of the pigment that you're putting on the nail. So right now, since I'm using a darker color, it is going to take a little bit longer because I'm trying to make sure that I have the proper ombre onto the nail, right? So you can brush as much as you want. Right now, I could either leave it like that if I want to, but of course, I want it even side to side. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna continue to ombre the nail, okay? So you make sure that you remove all those grainy. You see, I didn't clean my brush, and that's what happened. I got some grainy areas. So just make sure that you gently remove it, or if you want to avoid that, just continue cleaning your brush every time you pick up the product. I'm looking at it. I like what I see. So with a very soft brush, you're gonna brush down from cuticle to tip. You don't want to brush from tip to cuticle because then you're going to drag more product towards the top of the nail, and you don't want that. Once you're done and satisfied, look at the nail, inspect the nail, you cure it for 30 seconds. What that's going to do is going to set that whole product in, that when you top coat it, it doesn't drag at all, okay? So make sure you cure it for 30 seconds. Once you're done, you're gonna come in with your top coat. You always want to do a shiny coat first, no matter what finish you want at the end. If you want a matte finish, you're gonna add a shiny top coat, cure it for 30 seconds. What's that gonna do is gonna work as your protector, and because it's shiny and it's more of a smoother finish, what it's gonna do is you're not gonna drag any product anywhere. So you're gonna be able to have the same finish without dragging anything. And if it makes sense, you're not gonna leave no streaks. So you see how I start with a big bubble of the product, and then gently I'm dragging it down from side to side, from the center, and then you're gonna cure that for 30 seconds. If you want a matte finish, after you cure that first coat for 30 seconds, you're gonna come in and top coat it with your matte top coat, and you're done. It shouldn't chip, it shouldn't peel, it should stay there until your client comes back. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.